right, let's get this started. Talk about some motivation, some meditation, some inspiration. If it's not one of the three, I don't want it. We're starting to get into the spring season here. New things are happening in our lives, new challenges, new goals, new abilities. Each day that you're facing off against challenges is a blessing, because when you start to make it through your challenges, you start to find yourself. And so, I do this on a daily basis. I get out there. You can actually watch videos from even 2 years ago. And mentality is what matters the most. It's the reason why I ask this question every day: is what I'm doing today, is it motivation? Is it meditation? Is it inspiration? And one of the things that's super important, that I find important, is taking notes. Our life story is important, our life's challenges are important, and our life's ability is important. And so I see the things that manifest, I see the things that open up, the things that we want to achieve, and the dreams that we want to have. It's on a daily basis that the challenges that we're facing off against are in front of us. And so how do we focus? And one of those tools that is super important is note-taking. If you give yourself the ability to put the time in and the effort in to use those kind of gifts, to use those kind of abilities, then what starts to happen is they start to manifest themselves. And it's not always easy. The things that we face off against, they're not always easy. When you start to think from a positive angle, you'll see that people will try to grab hold of it. They'll try to stop you from growth and stop you from ability. And when you are in a place where your mentality is in place, and you're putting in the time, the effort, and the ability, you will find a way to overcome. And it's happening on a daily, where I'm starting to see a lot of those dreams and a lot of those goals to become possible. I'm starting to see that no matter the challenges that we have the ability to overcome them. I know that when you're facing things and you don't see the way out, if you look within, then the way starts to appear. If you look within, the way starts to happen. And I put that time in, that effort in on a daily basis. Today is the 22nd, and here I am reading the 10 Scrolls of Success again. Here I am getting this time in to put some notes together, to put some mentality together, to continue to grind and to continue to push forward. Yesterday I had a little bit of a rough day, but I continued to go, and by the end of the day I had turned that day around. And so it's not always going to be easy. It's not always going to be what you're looking for. Some days you might feel like you're moving 5 feet forward. Some days you might have taken 2 steps backwards. But if you continue to grind, if you continue to put in the time, to put in the effort, to put in the ability, you will start to see that you're worth it, and you will start to see that you have what it takes. Also, when we start to look inwards, when we're spending time on ourselves, we're investing time, we're investing energy, we're giving ourselves the ability to believe in ourselves and to believe in our dreams. You have to remember that it comes from within you. All the lessons that you've learned, all the things that you're going through, all the energy that you build comes from that place within yourself, and believing in yourself is so important. Believing in your light, believing in your journey and in your path. You know, the thing that's important is that you care for your being, you care for your path. And you know, when you see that you're helping out others to the point where you're losing yourself, you have to start looking within you. Good morning for the answers. You have to start looking within you for the ability. You know, I believe that what happens is we sometimes get caught up in helping other people to the point where we forget ourselves. We forget how important we are, what our journey, our own life, goals, paths, and purposes are. You know, we seek out inside of ourselves that greater place. When we seek out inside of ourselves that ability to be who we are and to use our gifts and to use our talents. You know, I put these videos out on a daily basis, and I've been doing this for years. You know, motivation, meditation, and inspiration is more about the ability to focus, the ability to use the knowledge and to use the discipline within ourselves to push past the point, to find a positive place within our vibration and within our being. And so when we start to see that it's inside that it matters, you know, I've learned a lot of lessons in this last couple of years. I've learned a lot about what it means to be me, what it means to be who we are within, what it means to use the gifts within ourselves. You know, I recognize that challenges, they do come, and that, you know, they test you to see what you're made of. They test you to see if you have what it takes, if you have within you a place, a vibration to be yourself, you know. So are we doing that? Are we using those kinds of processes? Are we studying ourselves? Are we giving ourselves time? And another thing that's starting to become important is rest. You know, are you in a place where what you're doing is allowing you to be who you are, to accept your purpose? And you know, and one of the most important pieces is to start to study ways to become who you are. And what I mean by this, if you want to get up, start setting your alarm at a time for that preparation. Start preparing yourself, start putting your time in place, start putting your effort in place, where no matter the challenges that you're facing off against, you're still going to find a way through them. And then from there, look at what it means to be you. What is it that I do on a daily basis that brings me closer to myself? What is it that when I study this, it brings me closer to the ability to overcome my challenges and to get within? And how can I use those skills within myself to reflect outwards? How can I use those skills within myself to overcome the challenges that I'm facing off in that day? And how can I put myself into that present moment to where I am disciplined enough to be centered, disciplined enough to be gifted, to have a purpose, to have an ability to achieve the dreams that you want to achieve? You know, when we're on our own, when we're by ourselves, when we're going through things that are not as easy as we would prefer, we look within ourselves for the answers. Yeah, we look within ourselves for the ability, and focusing to that point, you see, focusing to the point where no matter how much challenge is brought towards us, we have the ability to overcome. And So the last thing I want to talk about is inspiring others, using your gifts, your talents. You know who you are out there grinding behind the scenes. You know who you are following. You know who you're listening to. What is it that your mind is inspired by? What is it that you're doing on a daily basis? Asking that question, is what I'm doing today, is it motivation? Is it meditation? Is it inspiration? Because if it's not one of three, I don't want it. I do hope that you all have a blessed day, and this is your morning motivation. Blessings, 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 and namaste.